was talking to somebody. So with the players here, we'll go ahead and we'll do our players first. The coach will be coming in, and then we'll start. As you can see, we've got to my immediate left, we've got Anthony Eyanson, we've got Jared Jones, we've got Steven Milam. With 3 players up here, please address your question to which player you were talking to. And guys, if you'll do me a favor, when they ask, if you'll just sit up instead of sitting back so we can get you loud and clear on the microphone. Congratulations to the 3 of you on the Super Regional Championship. And with that, we'll open it up for the players first. Raise your hand, we'll get a microphone to you. First one, guys, is in the back here.
Anthony and Brabham, LSU Tiger TV. Obviously, this is the reason you come to LSU, to get an opportunity to go to Omaha. Tough conditions today, tough West Virginia lineup. Just talk about how you managed that start and moving through the game like you did.
Yeah, very tough lineup, obviously. Just had to mentally, lock in a little bit more than normal. Just focus on executing the pitch, slowing down in the moment. A couple times where I felt like I was just moving a little too fast. Just wanted to slow down, really take a deep breath, and just be myself.
Back here, guys, left. Michael?
Yeah. Jared, when we talked to you guys at the beginning of the season, a lot of you use the phrase, we have the right guys on the bus with us, right? And you guys adopted that tough and together mindset. Just kind of speak to the journey that this team has been on and the character that it's taken to get them to the point that you guys are right now.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable ride for us the last 9 or 10 months that we've put in together as a team. Started, all the way back in, September 1st in the meeting room, meeting everybody for the first time and, going out there and having our first practice in the humidity and the heat. So, we were built in it from day one. And, from day one, there was a fundamental to go out there and compete and to have a lot of fun doing it. And that's what we did tonight was we went out there and we competed and we had a lot of fun doing it. And these 2 guys sitting next to me, I'm super blessed to be sitting next to them and call them my teammates and my brothers. And I'm super excited for what lies ahead of us.
Steven, back here. John Sokoloff with WGNO in New Orleans. When your team needed you the most in these supers, you had 8 RBIs in these 2 games. Grand slam, bases clearing double to really give you guys separation. What is it about these big moments that you think really allows you to thrive, and what was working so well for you this weekend?
Just being patient. I hit with my dad a lot. Just getting back to the basics, and I love the big moment. And I didn't play or help my team as much as I wanted to during the year, and I had to step up to take pressure off the other guys, and I feel like I've been able to do that. And our whole team's running great at bats 1 through 9. I mean, you can punch in 15 different guys and we're going to beat you. But I just love the big moments. What I came here for, and this is why you come to LSU.
Jared, how does this feeling compare to 2 years ago when you guys made it? You're part of the team, but now you're one of the leaders and one of the guys they count on.
Yeah, I look back at my freshman year a lot throughout the year of just kind of like moments in that year where I could kind of learn from it, whether that was guys on the field or, me as a spectator watching the games. Just is always something I could take from it my freshman year, and I tried to really dive into that and really kind of take in and soak it all in. And, this year just going out there and competing, and knowing that it's 9-on-1 out there and it's going to be a great time. Alex Box was packed, and it was awesome. There's nothing more I could say than just I'm super grateful. And, what a wonderful day it's been.
For Steven and Jared, I guess, just kind of building on the offense, you guys seem pretty dialed into your approach this weekend, really capitalizing on their mistakes a lot. Just scoring 28 runs over the 2 games, just what does that do for you guys confidence-wise? And just, how well y'all think you're swinging the bat right now going into Omaha?
Yeah, I think it's big for us. I think we had a great weekend. Obviously, we capped off a good, season at home in Alex Box, and that was something we wanted to do. We wanted to punch our ticket to Omaha, and we wanted to get the bats going, and we did that. And the job's not finished. We got a lot more work ahead of us. We're going to have practice on Tuesday, get on a plane on Wednesday, and fly out there and get right back to work and get recovered and rested, and get ready for game 1.
Justin?
I just think 1 through 9, running tough at bats together. It's not always going to go perfect, but us just sticking with it and making us hard to get out is the biggest thing for us, and just sticking to our approach.
Chessa Boucher with NBC 33 here in Baton Rouge. Jared, you and Steven are very close, and he had a monster weekend, pun intended. Just what did you see from him?
Yeah, he was completely in control of himself. Coach Johnson kind of went through the lineup before the game and just told him that if he kept taking the ABs that he'd been taking for the last 2 weeks, that we were going to go out there and have a really good chance to win this game. And all 4 or 5 of his at-bats, he went out there and competed his tail off and really did a good job. 4 RBIs, had that big bases clearing double for us. So he was just himself this weekend, and he did a great job for us and got the momentum in our dugout.
Nick Ostrelli, Daily Athenaeum, West Virginia. Jared and Steven, this was statistically Cartsonis' worst start of the season. What were your guys' plans in the box against him, and what made you guys so successful?
Yeah, we just went out there and we wanted to get pitches in the middle of the plate and do damage on them, and kind of just take everything else. And that was really our plan going into it, was get the ball at the plate in the thigh and don't miss it. And when he lets us walk down to first base, you take it. So that was kind of the plan and approach going into tonight, and I thought we did a good job executing it.
Yeah, he was missing a little bit, just trying to get him in our zone and just take good swings. And, we took our walks and capitalized when we needed to.
Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, Anthony, just the job that Cooper and Chase did for you, the growth that we've seen out of Chase all season, but Cooper really turning it on late, I guess. What do you see in those two guys throwing the ball?
Yeah, just really consistent with their work ethic. Both those guys never give up. It's never been easy for them, and they've always worked hard, so it's really easy to be confident in those two guys who put their best foot forward every time.
Go ahead.
Alex Day, College Baseball Central. Jared, what can you take away from your freshman year in 23 and apply to this time going to Omaha and help, some of the guys who haven't been to Omaha before?
Yeah, I just think it's really important to, get back to your fundamentals and take it one pitch at a time. It's just baseball, it's a change of venue, but that's about it. We don't have to go out there, take balls, swing at strikes, crush mistakes, and throw strikes offensively or defensively, and play great defense behind our pitchers. So the game doesn't change. We're going to go out there, compete, and take things one pitch at a time in Omaha.
Hey, Jared, here in the back row, Megan Glover, WGNO in New Orleans. Sticking with that theme, of course, when you compare the two programs, the two Omaha programs or teams, what was it about this team that's taking y'all back, that you believe?
Yeah, I just think it's the collection of guys that we have in the locker room. I think go back to last Monday against Little Rock, Coach Johnson said not one guy was going to let us lose that game. We all kind of collectively took a step forward that day as far as where we wanted to go as a team and kind of the contribution everybody was putting into the team and the effort and the energy in the dugout. And so for us to go out there tonight, we knew what was on the line. We didn't need any motivation to go out there and compete today. And we were just doing it for one another. The 9 guys on the field, the 10 or 12 guys in the dugout, those are the reason why I show up to the field every day and compete for those guys and make sure that, they know how much I care about them and willing to go out there and perform for them.
Over here to our right, guys.
Alex Sheasley, KLSU Radio. Steven, a couple of big hits yesterday, a few big hits today. What does it mean to you to be a big part of this Tiger trip to Omaha?
I mean, it's a dream come true. I mean, coming from Las Cruces, New Mexico, you couldn't even imagine this. And, I'm standing here right now from all the hard work and, Coach Johnson giving me a chance and, all the hard work that I've put in, my teammates have put in with me and, them believing in me. It's amazing, and, I'm still at a loss of words for it.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yes, for Steven and for Jared, just 10 hits, only 3 for extra bases. You guys are doing a better job, I'd say, of hitting the singles, getting them to the outfield. Jared, you especially today. I guess just how much did your approach change, if at all, and how important was that to your success, kind of knowing what's ahead in Omaha?
Yeah, I just think for me, going up there with a clear mind and just taking it one pitch at a time, I think I get pitched differently a lot than most guys, and just going out there and understand I got to be patient in the box and take my walks. And when pitchers make mistakes, do damage on them. And today I was just trying to be really relaxed and move the offense and get guys on base, get some momentum in our dugout. And then obviously, let Steve come through in big-time moments. So that's what he does, and that's what our offense did today, and I'm super proud of our guys.
Me just staying focused and sticking to my plan and being a tough out, that's the biggest thing for me. I don't got the biggest zone, but, they got to throw it down there, and, I got to be able to hit it harder, just don't swing.
Anthony and Stephen, Jay had said that it was like 15 to 18 degrees hotter this week than last week. Was this about the hottest you guys have played in here at LSU? And did you see their pitchers particularly struggling in the heat the last 2 days?
Yeah. Honestly, I was focused on our guys, but I could say it was for sure pretty hot out there. Just didn't want to let that element affect the game at all, though.
Got one back here? Go ahead, in the back row. Go ahead.
This one's for Jared and Steven. Josh gets in and gets a pinch hit there in the ninth inning, gets a pretty big ovation in what's his last at-bat at Alec Box Stadium. How cool was that for a guy who's been here for 4 years, been with the program through everything these last 4 years? How cool was that to see him get that sort of ovation?
Special for sure. He's an unbelievable human being and a terrific teammate. He's been one of my best friends for the past 3 years. And he's somebody that I'll probably talk to every day for the rest of my life. He's been a great person. He's my roommate on the road, so I spend a lot of time with him. And I'm glad I got to watch that at bat from on deck and just see all the people get on their feet for him. I think he's the only player since Coach Johnson's been here to play all 4 years. So he's a special player and a special human, and I just love him, and I'm super proud of him, and I'm excited to see where he keeps going.
Last two questions for the players right here in the green, and then Jacques, and that'll be it for the players. Go ahead.
Oh, this is for Anthony. So it's kind of a two-parter. First, what is your off-speed pitch? And second off, how is it that you know you have that in your back pocket? If it's an 0-2, 1-2 count, you throw it down the zone, the hitters always chase.
Yeah, I think you said, what is your off-speed pitch? I throw a curveball, a slider, and a splitter, and when I throw them down in the zone and they swing and miss, I get happy.
All right, Jacques, last question over here, guys, to the right.
Okay, Anthony, Jacques Doucet, WAP-TV. You might have talked about it at the beginning. I came in a little later, but what was it like when you come out of the game and get a standing ovation in a super regional like that?
Yeah, just super blessed for the opportunity. Talking to Coach Johnson, moments like that are what popped into my head. Couldn't have done it without any of the coaches, trainers, teammates. Just the on and off the field support here it's ridiculous, and just really grateful to be a Tiger.
All right, well, thank you for the questions for the players. Coach usually speaks first. Coach, is there anything you'd like to say with the three guys to your left before we cut them loose?
Yeah, thank you. Very thankful. Don't take these nights for granted, and I'll be the first coach to acknowledge they don't happen without special human beings, and that's what we got right here. I mean, I've known Steven since he was in 7th grade, and he's the best shortstop in America, and took another step. It wasn't just a great college player this weekend. That's what a major league player looked like in the batter's box, and was the reason that our offense, played it close to its capability. With Jared, he made a decision to come back this season for this and this opportunity ahead of us next week, and to be at the front of it, and that's what he's been. And 3 years, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in the bucket. Couldn't be prouder of the person that he is, the leader he is. Obviously, he's a great player, and just very thankful, that he made that decision. And it's just the way that it is now. Every summer, one guy tips the scales of whether you can actually get there or not, and Anthony was that guy. And from one phone conversation, and you pair the attitude, the character, the conviction, and watch him pitch, it's like we have to have this guy. Like, there's no way we could not have him at LSU this year, and just very thankful. I think these are three great guys to have up here that exemplify what this team is, and I always want to go. This is the best place in the world. It's the only place in the world for me. I really wanted these guys to go because they'd earned it. And whether we won 2 games this weekend or not, they earned a trip to the College World Series, and I can't wait to go chase a national championship with them.
Coach, thank you. Steven, Anthony, Jared, again, congratulations. I know it's late. Appreciate your time. Congrats on the win, and good luck in Omaha. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, we usually open with a statement with Coach. He had made some stops along the way. We appreciate the players being ready to go. And, Coach, thank you for letting us start with them. 10th Super Regional title for LSU, 20th College World Series appearance. Coach, congratulations. If you want to make a statement about the game, and then we'll open up for questions.
Yeah, thank you. And sorry for being a little late. Again, I mentioned not taking this for granted. Yeah, it's a special night out there. And as I said, I just really wanted these guys to achieve this. I feel like they've earned it. It's been a great 12 months, and honestly, it started with a lot of heartbreak in Chapel Hill last year. Like, that team played as good as it possibly could to win that regional, and we didn't. We came up a little bit short, and you look around after a few days, and there's only 12 returning players from last year's team because of the draft and other things. And then we have this great freshman class that you have to get them through the draft. Obviously went to work in the portal. And then, those 12 guys I mentioned, though, they were the right 12 guys. They were like Jared. They were like Steven. And taking all that collection of talent and making it a team. Very tough, very together, very team over me. That was kind of our motto for the year. And I told them after the game, I'm super proud of them because the rewards of toughing together were out there on that field tonight. And like I said, I can't wait. They're worthy, and I can't wait to go chase a national championship with them.
Thank you, Coach. All right, we'll start with questions right back here. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, Megan Glover, WGNO in New Orleans. I know you don't want to make this moment about you. You just talked about how much you wanted this for the guys, but this has personally been a special run for you, 500th career win, and then your second trip to Omaha since you've been here at LSU. How special is this moment for you?
Like I said, I don't take it for granted. Very proud. It's a big life change coming out here, and I know where I'm at, and I know what I'm entrusted with, and I give it my entire life, and I give it to these guys, and they give it back to me, and it's so fun and exciting and rewarding to see all those people so passionate and thankful for the effort that everybody in this program, that everybody cares so much about, be appreciated. And it was an awesome night, and just a lot of gratitude, very thankful.
Yeah, Jay, back here. You've leaned heavily into this freshman core all season, but the last couple weeks, Derek, Kaysen, Cooper Williams tonight, these guys are really coming through for you in some big-time moments. What have you learned about that core group over the last couple weeks and what they're going to have to do for you here when you go to Omaha?
Yeah, I think moving forward, they just need to be themselves. Coach Burtman, had a thing he said to his players that if you're here, all you can do is all you can do, and that's good enough. And all Kaysen Evans can do is what he can do, and that's plenty good enough for me. And Cooper and Derek and Kate Aaron Beatty and William Schmidt, John Pearson. It's a special group. It doesn't happen all the time, and nobody in our league plays freshmen. They just don't. We do, and they play pretty darn good baseball. And I'm proud of them for contributing on a team this good. To contribute as much as that group has is awesome, and they're the foundation of this thing moving forward. And I'm really happy that it's another reason. Being there is so important. That's the front line of this thing as we move forward past 2025, and so they're going to get the full gamut and be ready to lead in a way that you have to have if you want to have the program that we have.
Jay, 28 runs on just 18 hits, but lots of walks and hit by pitches and reaching on errors and all that sort of thing. Do you try to incorporate all that into the offensive approach? And if so, I see you're nodding your head. If so, how difficult is that when the stakes are so high to make everybody's so eager to get a hit and get the extra base hit to get everybody to be patient and wait for those opportunities to come?
Yeah, something I take a lot of pride in is trying to have our team play its best when it matters the most. And I think one of the beauties about playing and coaching here is every game really matters. And we use the regular season and call it a 56-game playoff for two reasons. I mean, it's not a given that you're going to be in the NCAA tournament. You have to earn your way there, so you have to respect the game every night. But then when you get here, if you treat every game like that, nothing changes. And I take a lot of pride in we play our best when it matters the most. And, that's been over the course of a few different schools. And it really shined tonight. I didn't need to motivate them tonight. We needed to take a lesson we learned from last weekend, apply it to today, and then we needed to execute our plan. And so we laid out a simple plan, and they executed great. And then it manifests itself into free bases, extra base hits, hitting with runners in scoring position, and putting up 12 runs. And, I mean, there were so many key at-bats in that deal tonight. It would be a game that you would want to put on a tape and show future teams, like, this is how we play offensive baseball at LSU.
In the back, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, a lot was made this week about the conditions and the heat and everything that went into this week. But every step of the way, your team looked to be the more conditioned of the two. What can you say about the work that Chris Martin has done with the staff and the work that the guys have put in to be ready for a spot like this in June?
Yeah, appreciate you bringing that up. Chris Martin is our strength and conditioning coach, absolute difference maker. When I hugged him on the field, that's what I said. I was like, dude, difference maker. And he has an unbelievable ability to connect with the players. He's super invested, unbelievable at player relationships, very intelligent. He was a very good college pitcher himself at a good program, so he understands culture. And he's got it going on. And he's a big part of this thing. You know, I made that hire personally, no other help, and we were super diligent in that because we needed a star in that position. Like, you know, the SEC is the jungle, and we're only playing big, strong, physical, well-conditioned beasts. Basically, it's a war every weekend, and you know, we match some of that in recruiting, but you have to match it there. And, you know, like I said, the tough and together piece, you develop a lot of toughness in the weight room. And then, you know, as far as the conditions, man, that was hot. Like, I stood on the top step, gave signs, and talked to players, and I was a little wiped out yesterday, to be honest with you. And so I started thinking about Luis Hernandez. What an effort that was. You know, Steven Milam, what an effort that was. Kate Anderson, Anthony today, man. I mean, it was not easy. And I think all of that matters. But I just think it was toughness. And to us, toughness is just being able to focus on your job no matter what else is going on. And these guys did that and did it both mentally and physically.
Right here in the front, Coach.
Coach, 2 years ago you talked about how the arc of building that team was really started the season before in your first season at LSU. From the moment you won the national championship to now, how do you view that arc of change, I guess, and development, and how does that sort of, is that similar at all to the first time you had to do this?
Yeah, I think there's some differences. I think the nature of college baseball has changed where you're kind of building your team 1 year at a time. You know, obviously the 23, that'll go down as one of the greatest teams in college baseball history. And, you know, there it was, had some really good foundational pieces, and we had to get tasked to go get the areas that were deficient in the program, and we did that, you know, with Paul and Tommy and on and on and on. And then this freshman class, we started on like literally the day I got the job, so I hadn't even coached a game yet, and you know, Derek Carriel was committed here. You know, Cason Evans, September 1st is the first day you can call juniors. I probably called him every day of the month of September. You know, I canceled a trip to go see one of my best friend's wedding to make sure he was coming back on a second visit and was committing. Kate Arambidi flipped from another school. You know, William Schmidt flipped from another school because they saw what was going on here. And then this summer in the portal, like, I mean, hugging Zach Cowan. I mean, hugging Luis Hernandez, hugging Danny Dickinson, hugging Chris Stanfield. Like, there was like a 2.5 week run last year where it's like, man, I don't know how this is going to be. And then we had those guys. We got those guys. And I'm so proud of them for stepping into this thing and not being promised or guaranteed anything, given everything that they have. And it's just a true team. And I think that's what I'm the most proud of. And, 3 different collections of buckets where the players came from. One common theme, all winners. All winners.
Over here, Coach.
Jay got pinch hit for Josh in the 9th. What's that relationship been like between those 2 right fielders? And I guess to a bigger extent, what has Josh brought in kind of like a mentorship role for the rest of the team this year?
Yeah, I think Jake had a phenomenal game tonight, too. I mean, absolute difference maker. We felt like it was a good matchup for him tonight. Stuck him in the 4-hole and worked out great. And they're best friends. I mean, they appear to be best friends. And, I mean, Josh Pearson, he's one of my favorite players of all time. And it's a long list, but the only guy that's been here for 4 years. And like I said, this roster deal can be a roller coaster nowadays, but the stability of that. I hit him clean up the first game of the year just because I knew what I was going to get. Huge game yesterday because you know what you're going to get. But he's taken a in the lineup and out of the lineup role and handled it like a champ. And you just heard his teammates talk about him. But they're both great kids. This means something to them from being from here. And I really value that. And I'm sure happy we have both of them.
Front left here, Coach.
Hey, Jay. Corey Diaz with the USA Today Network and the Daily Advertiser. Spoke with Anthony and Kate on the field after the game, and you've talked a lot about their competitive edge. Neither particularly happy with their last outing. So how much of an advantage situation does that put you guys the next time you roll off the bus and they tow a rubber, that they're going to be a little fueled by what they did last?
I'll take either of them on the mound any day of the week against anybody. And it's like that special character. Like yesterday, I'm going like, Cade, you got us 7 innings. It's a really good team, by the way. And I would like to congratulate Coach Sabins and West Virginia on an outstanding season. He's a star. Like, he'll be one of the best coaches in college. He's one of the best coaches in college baseball now in his first season. Buying stock in a program, buy it in West Virginia. But yeah, it's been I forgot the question. I'm sorry. Anthony and Cade. My wife's back there, probably the next 2 most important people in my life. I'll take them anytime, anywhere. Absolute winners. It's just a special competitor. Hey, we went out there, we won a super regional. That's win number 11. That's a small list in college baseball this year. Might be one. And to want more and to do more makes you proud as a coach. It's like, we don't play well, maybe, but win or play our best and win. And we're pushing that we're not getting validated by, what anybody says about us. We're not getting validated by even winning and losing, as crazy as that sounds. We're validated by how we play. And when your 2 best dudes are like that, unbelievable effect on the whole team.
Back here, Coach, to the right.
Jay, John Sokoloff at WGNO in New Orleans. You were talking about Steven and how that was big-time stuff, what he was able to do these 2 games in these huge moments. You kind of alluded to it. How much do the other players in the lineup feed off what he's able to do at the plate, and what kind of effect does that have on others, you think?
Yeah, I think it does. I think he's one of those guys, when he's out at shortstop, you're paying attention to what happens because you might see something pretty awesome. And I feel like he has that presence in the box, even at 5'8". And really what he did is he just created runs for our team by his plate discipline and his ability to hit mistakes. He's on base all the time the last 2 weeks. He drove in 4 runs tonight. And it's changed our team. Like him playing to his full potential, playing to the blueprint that he needs to be the best player he can be, is the reason why we've taken off offensive. Or maybe, I wouldn't even say taken off, gotten back to maybe where we were, 34 games into this thing, largely because of his contribution. So they definitely do feed off it. But also think it's really tangible with his plate zone discipline. He's on base and he's driving people in.
Michael, back left.
Jay, you were talking about hugging the players, in the portal, whatever. When I think of you, I think of intentionality, and tonight you were hugging all the parents, and you made an effort to really spend time with everybody that made this possible. I guess, could you speak to the payoff, like when you see those people and the trust they put into you to get their kids where they are and have it come to fruition?
Yeah, thanks for that question. And this is an awesome group. They're putting trust in you with the most important thing in their life. And it's more than just baseball. It's more than Bear hitting homers. It's getting through the struggle. Like that's a lot goes into that. You guys see if he goes 3 for 4, or if he punches out a couple times. I see what he's willing to do to put together that night out there like that from a mental toughness standpoint, and then a baseball like physical adjustment. When I'm talking to this dude on the phone, the first time I talked to him, and it's like, yes, sir, and coach, and I will compete for you. If I end up coming to LSU, you will have the best competitor on the mound in college baseball, and I think we can all agree that my man has delivered. So I think it's just very grateful, and this is a cool team. Like it's and they're a direct reflection of their parents, and the Pearsons, they're unbelievable. These are two solidest guys you could have. It's Bill and Anna. That's where it comes from, and I feel that way about a lot of them. And just how it all kind of came together is pretty awesome, and it's a lot of work, man. It's a great place. We have a lot to offer. They don't just show up here anymore because everybody's investing in baseball because of Coach Burtman showed everybody what could be possible. So he made this a lot harder on me.
Jacques in the back, couple more questions. Coach, thanks for your time. Jacques in the back.
Just collectively, offensively, the crooked numbers yesterday, 3-run homer, 2 grand slams, Milam clears the bases tonight, Jake Brown. When the offense is rolling like that and your crowd is rolling, it seems like it's pretty impossible to beat.
Yeah, it's pretty special. I'll remember these 2 weeks forever. Last Monday night, staying with the team when we were down 5-1, and helping them stay energized, engaged in the game to be able to come back, and then making it hard on the opposing pitcher. And tonight, we've flat out earned it. In the second inning, there was 2 outs, nobody on base, and we went walk to set up double, and then added on from there with 2 out hitting, really good offensive performance, and I take a lot of pride in that. It's, my side of the ball and 12 runs, and I know what this program was built on. The gorilla ball and the homers in Omaha, they're a little harder to hit there now, but I know our fans like double-digit runs almost as much as their coach.
Chess in the back.
Chessa Boucher with NBC 33 here in Baton Rouge. Coach, this freshman class, you talked about it a little bit. You're not punching your ticket to Omaha without the performance of Kason Evans on Monday night, Cooper Williams tonight. How special is this freshman class?
Very special, and those guys in particular, very different stories. Before he was working for us, Josh Simpson was a scout for the Rangers. He wasn't even hired, and so we were just talking through guys that were in the junior class in Texas, and he's like, Kason Evans. And I really respect Josh's ability to evaluate. That's why I brought him here. And I was like, okay, that's enough for me, and just started on him. And it was a battle. It was like, you name it, he visited there. Arkansas, Tennessee, Texas A&M, TCU. It's like 6 weeks in a row. And I think he came to the football game where we got blasted by Tennessee. And I was like, this not helping me out here, And then, he's had a couple more. And then in December of his junior year, he said, hey, I want to come back and chat with you. And that was awesome. We just were having lunch over at Walk-Ons and basically said he was coming here. And then Cooper, was committed to Texas A&M his whole high school career. And then they had the coaching change. And, we realized he had never signed a scholarship. So we obviously jumped right in there. We needed left-handed pitching, and He's awesome. I mean, he's both those guys got the it part of it. You know, they got the it part of it. And that's the only way you can contribute in an environment like tonight. They have the talent, but they're the right people too. And makes me very optimistic about, you know, the leadership of the pitching staff, you know, going forward. And they'll be on a mound in Nebraska this time around. And I'm really excited about that.
Brett?
Hey, Jay. Brett Martell with AP. Big picture kind of college baseball Omaha question here. And slow me down if you need to. But of the 13 SEC teams that entered the tournament, are you surprised that not only are there only 2 left, but there'll be like 6 conferences represented 1 year after there was this narrative that NIL is going to make baseball so top heavy in favor of the power conferences?
I think we have the best league. I don't think it's close either. And I don't think 2 weeks of baseball changed that. I think LSU has a great team, and we earned our way there. I think Arkansas is a great team, and they earned their way there. And a lot of lost tough games, you know, both home and on the road. But it's baseball. It's just, you know, it's football and basketball, big, fast people beat little, fast people. In baseball, you have a pitcher that determines everything. And if a pitcher gets hot and, you know, rolls through a game and puts a team in a loser's bracket, then you have the psychological warfare of you lose one game and your season's over. And 18 to 21-year-olds, unless they're trained properly, they're not built to deal with that all the time, and crazy stuff can happen. And so I think it's going to be awesome. You know, I know we play Arkansas. You know, that's one of the things that I always look at on the selection show day. It's like, okay, if we're there, who's it going to be? And I mean, no surprise, like they're the most talented team in America, you know. And then I saw UCLA win, so they're on our side. Okay, a lot of games with Coach Savage, so that'll be fun. And then there's one more tomorrow to decide the other one. Is that right? Do I have that right? And then Coastal went back. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Wildcats. Yeah, that's awesome. Chip Hale was really good to me when I was there, and I'm very happy for him and their team. And then Louisville, Dan McDonnell, great coach. And then who's the other one? Who won Florida State? Oregon State. All right. So 3 West Coast teams. I'll be right at home.
You got time for one more, Coach?
I'm good.
You're good?
Hey, we're going to Omaha. I'll stay here all night.
Well, there we go now.
Yeah.
I was on my limit, but you got it. You might have 2 more. Then there we go. Go ahead.
Coach Nick Castrelli, Daily Athenaeum, West Virginia. How much did you guys know about West Virginia ahead of the series, and what did you guys do to kind of put yourself in the best spot against their lineup and pitching staff?
Yeah, that's a great lineup. That's a great lineup. A couple of those left-handed hitters are really scary, and they're ultra competitive, and they obviously would not go away. And we knew the maturity. They were in this position last year at North Carolina, and I feel like they used their experience well, had a great season, Big 12 champions. And then on the pitching side of it, you know, there obviously was something to Kern. Like, we really had to grind hard with how we were going to approach him yesterday. And I thought our guys did a great job. And then Carstonis, every once in a while, guy has an off night, and I think that was actually more of our hitters doing a really good job. Like, we just didn't expand the zone on him in a way that maybe other teams had, and just really put him on the hook a little bit. And then our crowd got into it, and then Chase Meyer came in and did a great job tonight. He's really, really talented pitcher. But like I said, Coach Saban's he's a star. They're going to be on the rise, and you know, I don't know their roster as far as who's coming back and not, but nothing but respect for the Mountaineers.
Introduce yourself, because you're going to wrap up the last question. They're going to Omaha, but you get it, so it's your question. Go ahead.
Coach, two innings scored and then 4 scoreless innings, and then you come back and score 6 in the 6th inning. I mean, what kind of energy did you see, and what kind of shift, and all of a sudden? Yeah,
I think it was the game, baseball. Like, we got off to a great start, scored 6. They made a pitching change, went to Chase Meyer. I mean, he's throwing 97 with a hammer breaking ball. Really talented young man. But I felt like and you have to because they're in a winner go home game. They were extending his pitch count maybe longer than he had, and we were hitting the ball pretty hard. Like we lined out several times, kind of had some tough luck. Guys didn't get discouraged, and then I think we finally kind of got tired. Well, Cooper went out and got us the quick inning, so he had to go back out there quicker than he had previously. And then I thought we took advantage of that with free bases. And then huge hit by Chris Stanfield. Huge hit by Chris Stanfield. And that was a tough one. Like, you know, and he's been unbelievable. What an unbelievable season. But I actually thought about pinch hitting right there because the sidearm guys, left-handers, are way better matchups. But I just had a good feeling like he has hit these kind of guys well. And I felt like he was focused, and he's taken great at-bats for several games in a row, regional, super regional. And I think that was huge. And then, you know, Derek, you know, stealing second, and then we got the error, and then Jake Brown 2-run homer. It was a great inning, and proud of our guys for just grinding it out against a really good team.
Coach, thanks for giving us the extra time. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck.